All right, you guys, we're gonna change the bottom door panel today. This one's bent. See how it's bent there? It's actually bent worse than it looks. And I had to replace these cables like a week ago, and they're already out of balance. Normally these doors will rot in the corners and you can't get hinges on them. But these hinges are all rotted in half on the inside. I'll show you. All right, you guys, to capture the tension that's on these cables, what you're gonna wanna do is raise the door to a good level where you can crawl under. If you've got bad knees, bring it a little taller. You're gonna need vice grips and C-clamps. Let me show you how it looks when it's done. All right, what you wanna do is catch the tension here with these C-clamps. See how I got it? There's still tension on it right now. But get it high enough to where you can get under, get both sides. And then all right, what you wanna do on the inside is pick the door up with your hand, one hand down here, and lift it up about 2 inches and slap this vice grip underneath the roller here like this, so that the door won't come back down, and it'll suspend the door hanging from these 2 vice grips. Do each side. All right, okay, see here? They're both loose. Now we can undo these U-bolts. There's 2 nuts on the back side. Undo both of those and pull this U-bolt out, and your cables are free. They'll both be free. This one over here on the left is probably gonna break, because that one broke a couple weeks ago. Another reason why I gotta do the tension. Anyway, here we go. All right, you'll need a 1/2 inch to get this off. Get these off. That's one U-bolt down, and get these off. That'll be the second one. These will probably break, but that's okay. Buy your parts first. Not unexpected, but this one broke, like I thought. Now the cables are free, both sides. That's what you wanna do next. All right, now what you wanna do is remove all the rivets that hold this bottom panel in. And we got broken hinges here. See the daylight coming through? So we'll take them all off. So drill out these things with a 1/4 inch bit. As you can see, these hinges were broke. They're still there. You can either go beside this hinge with the new one or remove these, which is what I'm gonna do. Just make sure you got good rivets or good bolts to go back in. And here's the bottom panel. It just fell off once I drilled them all out. So you can't cut this side. There's hardware here. The rest of the hardware is here on the new door panel, and you can cut it here on this side. So cut this door panel to match that panel there, so that everything's all good. All right, measure your door panel. Make a mark on the side you want to cut, the side with no hardware, so the door panel's the same.
Go for it.
All right, the next thing you want to do is put all your hardware on, just the upper half. Put it in these holes here. You can bolt it on or rivet it on. I like to rivet them if I have help, but I don't, so we'll just bolt it on today. Just check the tightness of your nuts later on. Let's get the top half of these hardware stuck. Put in, just like that. Leave the bottom open so that you can put the bottom panel up. All right, after you cut it, you want to bolt your hardware on so that both sides are the same. Just use a tape measure and measure everything out. Make sure they're the same distance apart from there and there. We'll put our latch system on last when we pull the door down. But let me show you how to get this in here. After you get your hardware put on, what you want to do is take these off on the ends so that you get your roller put in here. I'm giving them new used rollers. Put these in so the door doesn't come out on you when you put tension back on it. I'll show you what it looks like when I got them in there. Just like that. Now that's just to keep the door from coming in, see? We'll have to take this back off because there's another hole under here that we need to put a bolt in like this one on the next panel down. But at least now the door, when it's under tension, it won't come, you know, it stays there. Do that on both sides. Bottom panel, you're also gonna wanna take these off because the roller will go right here. Both sides. The best thing to do is have a helper so you can buck rivets and he can stand here and hold that new panel up for you. But if you don't have one, put vice grips down here close at hand, like that. Bring your door panel in here and raise it up and set it on these vice grips and put your bottom roller in. And then put tension back on it so that the door will close up and this gap will be nice and tight like this. I'll show you. All right, see, it's sitting on those vice grips. All I gotta do is push it up 4 inches, slide the vice grips up 4 inches, and it's there. And we'll do the same to this side here. So that what we gotta do is get this tongue and groove inside here and make sure the hinge stays on this side. Make sure the tongue and groove lines up and I'll show you that. We've got it up and the tongue and groove is lined up, ready anyhow. Once we put tension on it, it'll close that gap. We'll put this bottom roller in so the door panel doesn't pop out. Make sure your door panel is lined on the side with the original door, so it's just as wide and in line, side to side, okay? Okay, remember we had some slack on these cables, so what you want to do is you want to hook the cables back up and take these clamps off, and then you'll have all the tension back on the door. And make sure this tongue and groove is good and you're nice and tight here, your gap. And then we'll go ahead and drill out these other two and we'll bolt these down. We can do that now, but I just wanted to show you how this trick here works. So you just get your cables put back on because all the tension's up there on the spring, and then we release these clamps, boom, all your tension's on there. But we're nice and tight there now, so let me get them drilled out and bolted in. All right, next step, get these clamps off. See the hinges are bolted onto the door now, so it's not gonna go anywhere. So we'll just go ahead and get these clamps off and get the vice grips off the inside. That way the operator up top can have full access to the door. And then we'll put this latch on here. That's pretty self-explanatory. It just goes back where the other one came off, like this. You can measure it, or you can just line it up outside with the door down. Measuring it's just as good. Now, if you have to use bolts because you're alone instead of rivets, what you want to do is you want to break these off like this. A little bend in both directions, back and forth. I sure could use somebody to hold my phone. Break them all off like that. All the ones sticking out, just so they don't like hook on freight or whatever. That's why it's better to use rivets also. But you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, guys, don't forget your red and white tape. There you go. Thumbs up or down, whichever you please. It's up to you. Y'all have a nice day.